trash, and I'm back to...
Yep. Ahoy there, mates. So Vampire
perfect
here
timing.
today, and today I believe we were all in a good
Ahoy
mood.
there, mate.
Oh yes, that sounds like we're in a great mood tonight.
And we're just busting each other's balls about average.
I am ready to
No, we're
take
just
out
busting
my
balls.
frustrations with life on you guys by trying to murder you. So,
I thought I was higher than level
Aw,
5.
my favorite
That's what I was
pastime.
like.
Better to react.
My favorite pastime. How could you?
Oh
what's
no!
the monster?
Lorelai's kind of broken for a level 5, level 6 character.
We're
thought
all
it was
level
higher.
6, I believe.
Right.
Yeah, I know, I already did it, but I'm saying is... Technically, sometimes he comes off as being a huge damage dealer. I'm surprised. I feel like I'm higher level.
That thing is.
It can be
fucking
very
creepy
deceptive.
looking.
That you are correct.
Yeah, it's mainly the good rolls I had last week and the double attack, to be honest.
Look, I could build for damage if you guys really wanted to. You just lose all your healing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Listen,
the healing
listen,
part is helpful.
I don't know if it's a
How about I
thing.
ask you to
with-
go more movement-based type instead?
This is to the D&D and the rest of you guys.
got
I
plans,
don't
bro.
know if either custom or part of the class there's any way for me to be a blood hunter and utilize my blood magic to either heal myself or heal my teammates. But if that was a thing, I'd do it. I would sacrifice health or like bite down the throat of an enemy to give it to
You're like
one of you
do
guys.
persona is like I will use my health to restore
Yeah, like
your
I wish that was a
health.
thing. I don't know if we can potentially do that, but that's up to the DM.
I feel like
since,
I feel like if there was one, it would be kind of like based on vampires.
Probably, yeah. It's just the fact that blood
It
hunter
feels
is a
a
custom
bit
class as is,
Counterproductive,
so you have a little more
if I'm being
freedom
honest.
with it.
Anyway,
Guys,
shall we
the
get
main
started with the game?
Sorry, I'm intoxicated. Go ahead, brother.
Alright, so we're going to go ahead and hop right into things with our little recappy thing.
Jesus Christ, you're Ahab.
Yeah.
Fucking scared the shit out of me. I thought it was something from fucking either Tokyo Ghoul mixed with Soul Eater.
It is from Tokyo Ghoul.
Fair
Yeah.
enough. All right.
It's Jozu. I look like Jozu.
All right. It literally scared the shit out of me because of how much I love Tokyo Ghoul. But go ahead, do the recap, my brother.
If you're talking about the anime, I'm gonna be sad.
No,
I have
we're
not
not-
seen
we're not getting
or
into-
read Tokyo Ghoul.
We're not
Anyway,
getting into
let's
anime
continue
right
with the game.
So,
Aww.
last we met our intrepid adventurers, they had added a new addition to the team, our fairy warlock Ahab.
Isn't he a familiar?
No, that's
Oh,
the lie that we use to get past the guards. so
I'm
that
quite
we
familiar
get
with you guys,
inside.
yes.
You're funny. All right, because when I was late and he was being introduced, I didn't realize that the lie he said was a lie. I thought he was a familiar. So go ahead. My bad.
You're fine.
But you guys managed to make a plan and execute it quite well to sneak your way into the city of Noes without the guards going, hey, there's those guys that we wanted to arrest.
For once, we managed to sneak.
For once,
without
we
having
managed to
stealth.
do something well. Congrats.
I know.
I'm surprised
You all-
nobody botched it up.
You all got to go through the bureaucracy that comes with heading into the city of Noes. Managed to learn the sort of the kind of bullshit that's going on here of people are effectively becoming indebted servants in exchange for safety from the Black Guard.
I mean, there's no better way to say it, but slave.
Yeah,
It's
No,
it's slavery
it's
with
not.
extra steps.
Bella's right.
It's not accurate.
With extra steps, I'm dead.
You're right. It's Roman slavery. They actually got paid.
Hey, at least I could finally go to a fucking bar and not be mistreated because I'm different colored skin and eyes.
Fair
Well,
enough.
yeah, you're in the
At least I
Underdark.
won't
If anything, people are gonna be like,
I'm
"Hey, you're a
different."
rainbow of colors too."
No, I know, the bartender was fucking dope. He fucking knocked me off my ass.
Yes, that's what bartenders are good at, especially when they have access
we
to
leave
the
off?
fuel.
On the recap?
You guys managed to get into the city of Noes, learned about some of the shadier things going on. Headed down. Oh, especially learned about how you have to be quiet here. Otherwise, the deep beasts will come out into the town and start attacking people.
Alright. Pretend I'm retarded. You probably described this before. What the fuck is a deep beast?
You don't know.
Alright.
No one has described what they are, just that that's what
Oh,
attacks
boy.
the town sometimes.
Oh god, this is gonna be like demigorgons all over again. Alright.
Pretty
Oh
much.
God, it's gonna be bullets.
It's an army of bullets coming out.
So it's reasonable.
But you guys traveled to the local bar,
So what do I do
which
with
has a bit of fancy magic allowing you to be loud in there. And found out about the Adventurers Guild that travel out into the tunnels and sort of help map out the Underdark. It's a very dangerous
Yeah.
job, but someone's got to do it. And after finding out that you guys had access to a map of a particular area of the Underdark, the current leader of the Adventurers Guild, a big scarred up Goliath named Grog, was very happy to ask you guys
Wow,
to
so
join. Shut up, it was the first name I thought of, and I don't care.
I'm Grog. This is
I was short for time, and fuck you. Anyway.
Copyright infringement.
A good one.
Hey, it's fine. We don't have to worry about copyright infringement. We're not getting paid for this.
Hey, I'm not getting paid, period, so...
Nobody cares about us. We're not
One day you
important enough.
will.
Yeah,
One
we're
day you
we're
will,
like
Tim.
like, if we do somehow get noticed, I'll be surprised.
I just get a cease and desist letter in the mail.
Cut.
Don't worry, Grog will probably be dead soon, so don't worry about it. Anyways,
It's not like...
after
Wrong with you gremlins.
after a bit of fun time at the bar, you guys headed out to your respective homes, took a long rest, and
As I
then
carried
leave.
Lorelai away.
Oh yes, I forgot. Ahab specifically had to drag
Yeah, I failed.
Lorelai
I
home.
failed that throw, so I got
Oh.
fucked up.
God.
Oh yeah.
Don't worry, Lorelai. I grew to medium size and carried you home by flying.
Grew
Hey,
to
first time-
mediums. You
Oh,
know
no,
what?
that's
I'm
not
not
it.
even gonna question it.
That's a good plan. Anyway. So, we meet up with our party in their respective tiny little bungalow places, waking up for what you assume is morning at least. The concept of time doesn't quite work the same around here. But you are adventurers and have the superpower of being able to take an 8-hour nap whenever you feel like it. So,
Yeah, like
Yeah.
responsible adults.
the true fantasy that anyone can just get a solid 8 hours of sleep and be fine.
Or any proper sleep, period.
I only had 6. The rest of it was goofing off.
But
It may
we
take the
all
letter, guys.
wake up in the morning, and I believe the plan is to go to the Adventurers Guild, but please correct me if I am wrong.
That is the current plan, I believe.
Other than me wanting to talk to Lorelai when he wakes up.
Absolutely. Lorelai, you wake up with a lovely hangover.
Which is something I'm not used to because normally, even with my own infernal ale, I don't even get that fucked up. So this is new.
And
my head.
The newest thing you find is my book and a fishing bulb on your bedside.
So, fuck? I lost service, or
Mr.
is
Lorelai?
everybody just gonna be quiet?
I was quiet, so...
Lorelai?
Yeah, what's up?
As I described, I have my book and a fishing bulb right on the side of your bed, but I'm nowhere in sight.
You said a fishing bulb and what?
My book.
A book and a fishing bulb. What the fuck is a fishing bulb?
Fishing
Oh.
lure.
Oh, okay. Maybe I've just had a long day because I was like, what? So I'm gonna wake up. I'm going to try to shake my head to try to like alleviate the pain from being hungover, which is something I don't normally experience, except when I've drank mainly alcohol that was infernal based. I'm gonna notice the things around me, and I'm gonna scratch my head in confusion.
As you're looking at the bulb, you see it slightly crack, and a very tiny, what looks to be bug, starts popping out of it, as it immediately starts growing the second it exits the bulb. As you see me. Oh, good, you're awake.
Hello, good morning.
I actually have a question for you. So you talked about planes, and the other one seemed very confused. What do you know about planes?
Planes? Are you referring to different realms of existence?
Yes.
Well, I don't know if you've noticed or you're aware, but due to my skin tone and my different color eyes, I am what's considered a tiefling. In my case, my
The
father
abyss,
was
right?
mostly
I think
human.
that's what they called it.
Yeah, my father was mostly human, and my mother was a demon. So the result, I am an infernal creature, which means I'm aware of things known as the Underdark and places where demons hang out.
Correction, the Underdark is not a different plane, it's just underground.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
fair enough. So in this case, I would say places
The
like the
Abyss.
Underdark, which is underground, the Abyss, which I believe the Abyss is equivalent to Hell, I think.
That's why I'm
Gulkiri
referring to it.
only. To give you a fair enough answer, Gulkiri knows there is a place where demons come from.
Yeah.
Gulkiri has no idea what that place is or where it is or how to get there.
So
Only
would
how
I
to bring
know,
things through.
because my mother's a demon and I'm tiefling, would I know what that place is called, or I would just call it down another dimension?
It's often referred to as sometimes just straight up hell, the infernal plane, the demon plane.
All right, so because the way this continuity works, similar to other stuff, I would just tell this new person, which is Ahab, that my mother's side of the family comes from a place called the Infernal Plane, and the Infernal Plane is a different plane of existence compared to where we are here.
As I float behind you and start poking your horns. You mean people like these?
Yes, I would honestly prefer if you don't mess with my horns.
Back off a bit
Because
and get back in front of you.
it's nothing personal. It's just that because of what I am, a lot of times, no matter how respectful or decent I am, people have a tendency to judge. And by saying that, I'm also going to reveal the fact that I have a tail hidden with my trousers. So unfortunately, is as much as I try to be a decent person or keep the innocent safe or do whatever or be respectable, sometimes I come across people that take one look at my eyes, my skin color, or in this case my horns if my hat isn't covering it, and assume the worst even before I've even said a one word.
My head crooks to the side. I don't get it.
I don't either, but unfortunately I was raised by two loving parents, but racism exists. Species basically being against other species before they even get a chance to meet them. That type of behavior exists. I grew up with in a special
That
place in the
sounds like they're
forest,
hunting.
right? I grew up in a special place in a village in the forest where I grew up, and I grew up being very different, but I never treated others that look different different. You treat me good, I treat you good. You treat me bad, I treat you bad. I don't care if you're brown, white, black, or yellow.
I just wonder if they taste good. As I shrug, with
Hard
my
to
eyes
say.
closed, with a big smile.
I very rarely eat that kind of meat. And as I say that, I'm going to smile and respectfully offer my hand to shake Ahab's hand because something tells me that he is the right kind of person to communicate with. So I offer my right hand in hopes to get a handshake, and I don't know. What
I
Ahab
look
does.
confused.
I'm going to look at my hand and then tell Ahab that general rule of thumb that I've grown up to use mannerisms, offering your hand, the other person offers the opposite hand, they embrace slightly with said hands, and that's a sign of respect and appreciation towards one another, or respect.
My tiny hand, I look at your normal hand. I go your size and I give you a handshake.
And I'm doing this because of the fact that I appreciate the fact that for once out of maybe one or two other times in my entire existence, I got drunk and someone I barely knew took me to safety. I didn't ask for that. He did it because he.
I'm becoming
wanted to.
quite familiar with you all. As I give a big smile with my yellow teeth.
You know, Ahab, something tells me that there's a reason why we met. And if we should travel together or do business with each other, as long as you're decent and kind towards me, I will never give you anything but that. I promise.
Can I ask you what realm this is?
Well,
As my smile keeps up.
this is technically, from what my lineage would tell me, the surface world or the overworld. And as much as I learned from my mother, we have here, which is the surface world. We have paradise, or what some would call heaven. And then you have the inferno, or hell, which is where some of my lineage comes from. So as far as I know, this is the surface world. So sort of like the middle plane of existence.
That doesn't sound right. There's a lot
No.
more than that.
No, it really doesn't.
I'm-
But that's as far as I know from what I was taught when I was a youngin.
Question: how many realms would I say I've known of?
Well, my father.
No,
told
I'm
me
asking the,
stories. Oh, fuck you then. I was having a nice
All right.
conversation. And you're just like, great character. Ask the DM. All right, bet.
No, you broke character a while ago, my friend. You gotta let
We
me
did.
have a second.
Well, no, I was trying to be as within
You asked him a
character as
question as
possible.
well. I'm trying to get a question for my character real
Oh
quick.
no, I understand. I was just
Mhm.
like, when I was speaking with you, I was trying to be within character as possible. But yeah, no, go ahead, DM. Go do what you're gonna say.
Ahab, go ahead and roll me a d6.
1d6.
Off of
Bro,
the
I
top of
swear
your
to God,
head,
Nick and I have the worst possible rolls when it matters, or potentially when it doesn't matter.
off the top of your head, you can only remember the plane. Well, you don't know of the plane you're currently in, and you can remember the infernal and your homeland.
Yeah, that's a lot of places. That's twice as many places.
That really irritates me. because that does not lead up to how any of my fucking shit plays out.
It's just that you remember off the top of your head. You know you've traveled to other places. It's just right now you're like, you're having a brain fart moment. It happens.
So, am I from heaven?
By the way, what
That
are
is
you?
questionable.
Out of character,
Oh,
what
God.
are you in terms of your class or whatever? Because all I know is that met you last session. Now you
I'm
have
a multi-class fairy.
You're a fairy-based character, but you're multi-class. So as far as Lorelai would be concerned, you're what I would consider a celestial.
I'm gonna let that play out, yeah.
I mean, it'd
Because
be
I
kind
don't
of
know
cool.
what's going on.
No, listen. I have Kevin as my best friend / bodyguard. It would be nice to have a friend who was literally the polar opposite of me. I'm infernal. You're in celestial. That'd be dope.
I'm not
I mean, he's
celestial.
Fae, but
I'm Lucifer. You're a Menadil.
What am I then? Neutral?
Well, when I think fairy, I think celestial in origin. So
Ah.
I'll respect
it's
you
fae.
if I know that you're a fae or fairy. But when I think fae or fairy, I think somewhat celestial in origin because of how somewhat similar they can be depending.
Faes are
Am
pretty
Fae. I know.
nasty.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Fae
I
is
heard
good.
stories from my
Well-
father of faes being dickheads, but I've also heard
Yeah.
stories of faes being decent people. And
Well,
Yeah.
in
I
character,
really
my
play
father
out,
told me
and see
stories
what
of
chaos
both
happens later.
evil fair fairies as well as good fair fairies. So, in my first impression of seeing Ahab, whether or not he tells me he's a fairy, something in my character tells me that something about him seems either celestial or decent in nature. Now, until he tells me or shows me otherwise, that's what my first impression is. Hell, he didn't even know me, and he fucking helped me when I was damn near passed out. He didn't have to do that. Kevin could have done that. Cabela could have done that. T10 could have done that. This dude who originally just first met me saw that I was in trouble and helped me out. So that's why I have a good impression of him.
You say helped you out, but I put you on the bed without even thinking about putting you on the side.
You said you put me on the bed without even thinking about it?
Yeah, because I don't know about drinking.
Well, regardless of the fact, regardless of your lack of knowledge of humanity or this realm of existence, you still helped me. And you didn't even know me. So as far as I'm concerned, I still consider that to be a good deed, especially because you didn't know me until just before. So whether or not our relationship expands as friends, I gotta say, I was fucked up for the first time in God knows how long, and you still helped me despite not knowing shit. You could have just left me there. You could have laughed. You could have made fun of me. You helped me. So regardless, I appreciate it.
So as I am now slightly floating off the ground and cramped in here with you, I'm gonna step outside.
Okay,
So-
that was weird.
But by sheer coincidence, all of you, do live in little bungalows that are right next to each other. Except I believe one of you wanted to be behind the street.
I'm surprised Kevin isn't bunking with me. Motherfucker doesn't leave me ever.
I'm
No.
assuming
I don't
that
think
these
it's
spaces
up
are
to
not big
me.
enough for everyone.
I'm just saying, regardless of our disguises, Kevin's my bodyguard. I'm very surprised that Ahab took care of me and not Kevin.
The housing barely could let us stand in the same room. That's why I said I stepped out.
Oh, so this is
Yeah,
my
they are
room.
incredibly
Yeah.
And
small.
Got it, no problem.
Your
Imagine a
house,
studio
not room.
apartment,
Yeah.
but small.
Wait, I'm not in a small hut or whatever. I have a house
You have
For
a house
me?
that's
to
basically
myself.
Quote unquote.
It's basically
The-
a one-room apartment that's very small.
Okay, because my character is used to living in the forest with nature, so me having any level of a private apartment, house, whatever, is
No,
an
There,
adventure.
there are houses in your town. You grew up in a decent sized place.
But again, that was built off of the surrounding land, which was a forest. So to have, disguise or not, to have a private apartment or house that's not in the forest, remember, DM, this is the first time I've had a place that is quote unquote considered mine that was either not a hotel room or not my forest. So
That
I can't
yes,
help
that
but appreciate it.
the only thing is like it's literally only big enough for you to walk in and then walk out.
Damn. So that means even if Kevin was my roommate, wouldn't be enough space. Got it.
No,
So it's
You
only
no.
wouldn't
one
even want
bedroom.
me as a roommate
Question, DM.
from that little
is there a
space
kitchen?
alone.
Is there a kitchen in this small ass apartment or no?
Yes.
There is a counter space that you can use as a kitchen.
Cool. So on my own time, I'm going to use stuff that I've foraged or stuff that's here to make myself a meal to get rid of the most irritating state of existence ever, which is known as a hangover. But go ahead.
There are no ingredients in your home, but I will say that with daily rations that you have, you make a meal.
Cool, because water's necessary and rations are necessary because holy shit, I'm 42. Getting a hangover after not having a hangover for ages. The last time I got a hangover was with Kevin because he was being an idiot. The first time was on my own, and I was barely of legal age.
You
So
didn't even drink
experiencing
that time.
this, a migraine
This
and
is
all
the-
this other stuff is horrible.
This is the dark ages. Legal age doesn't exist.
Yeah, I know.
Well, all right, fine. In character, my father, before he disappeared, did not allow me to drink until I was 17, 18 years old. And now, because I'm
That's fair.
42, I had a hangover at 18, a hangover a few years ago when I first had Kevin as my bodyguard, and then now. So, as much as I normally drink, I'm not used to feeling the negative effects. So my body's like, what the fuck?
Well, nevertheless, everyone comes out of their house in big quotation marks.
Yeah,
around the
I
same
look
time.
like I haven't slept properly. My neck is a little crooked.
Even though you had a bed.
Yeah,
We're
even
on
though I
these
had
sleeping
a
under a
the
tree.
bed was made of stone. It's not exactly gonna be the most comfortable thing in the world.
Is all of our bedrooms made of the same material?
All of your bedrooms are exactly the same.
So the beds would have stone instead of soft material to sleep?
It is basically stone and a rug.
That's trash. At least with me, I could sleep on in the forest by some bushes. Stone beds? I don't care what age we are. That's trash. What the fuck? What the Skyrim is going on?
We're basically in pretty much servitude to the place that we're in until we can figure a way how to get out of our contracts.
So I guess
Which Kevin
whenever
is the
I-
only one that
whenever I shake
knows
my,
really how we can get out of our contracts.
Sorry to interrupt. Whenever I shake my hangover and leave to meet up with the other guys, the rest of the crew, I realize in character that we all had a similar sleeping experience, and I'm going to give Ibella a pat on the back because I'm going to agree that
Thank you.
sleeping in a rug/stone bed is bullshit. And at least I know the experience of sleeping in the bushes or sleeping in nature. Like, I don't care if we got apartments or one-bedroom places. That seems a bit ridiculous. As I pat him on the back and comfort him because he looks like he hasn't slept at all.
I also look a little slightly tired.
You have matching luggage. You have raccoon eyes,
Yeah, effectively.
which is completely reasonable. You passed out but was not comfortable.
Oh god, I think that's the worst sleep I've ever had in a good long while.
I slept fine.
Well, of course you would sleep fine. I feel like you would sleep anywhere.
I'm still in bed too, you lot.
Oh, it is good morning time, JD. Get out of bed.
No, 10 more minutes.
Is it morning? Well, it should be.
God damn it, we're gonna play this game.
I'm gonna probably
Bullshit right now.
regret asking those adventurers later about it. But
Yeah, let me play out my fantasy. I want to sleep in.
hey, I want to
You're
too, but
adventurers, you
hear
got
me
shit to
complaining.
do.
Oh,
Come on, I need one of you to get the group together here.
fine. Such a drag. Especially with this new furry shit flying around. Bitch, I know you want to eat one of us. I just don't know which one.
Which I was questioning. I'm hungry. Who are we hunting today?
Uh,
As everyone is grouped up at that point.
well, whatever the Adventurer Leagues has for us, probably, as well as whatever rations we have.
You can try the dog beef that you eat today.
I don't know if I have any, but if I still have some leftover rations, I would respectively offer Ahab some of my seemingly bottomless bottle of infernal wine and some rations if he would desire some.
You've handed me alcohol before. I declined that, and the rations. I would look at you confused.
Well, then I would ask him out of respect, based on who he is as a creature, what type of hunting and what would be his prey, as me, who he barely knows, doesn't probably know that that I'm a werewolf. I would ask him out of respect, what is his normal concept of hunting, and would it be for humans, creatures, or other things?
Hunt. Usually go out with moose and crow, and we kill on site.
I don't
It's
think
good
you're
hunting.
gonna find anything like
Well,
that.
Ahab, I have to ask, do you hunt for human meat, or animal meat, or supernatural meat? I don't judge.
What's human?
I'm just asking. Well, I don't know if you've encountered them yet, but people in this
Sorry,
area,
who's the one that has the wine skin right
you
now?
would have people that what you
And-
would consider humans.
Standing next to
Common
two
folk.
humans.
Sorry, guys. Question for the pod.
Normally, I hunt after animal meats because of my experience with it since I was raised in a forest. Humans
Right.
are usually more common folk that, while if you cook it properly, their meat is delicious, I personally don't usually indulge. I rather indulge in animal meat because the hunt actually feels invigorating and I don't feel as bad because in the animal kingdom,
Guys,
it's normal.
can we
to hunt.
not talk about eating human beings, please?
Listen,
I'm sorry, which one
Bella.
has the wine skin right
Bella.
now?
I'm not trying to
No one
upset
talking.
you, but Ahab
No,
is
screw
a
you
new
guys
person
talking.
in
I
our,
want to
in our
steal that
group.
wine skin right now.
Yeah, Kibella. Ahab is a new person in our group. He helped me when he didn't even know me last night, and I'm just trying to understand what he means in regards to hunting, so that potentially I could take part in the hunt or help him out, because I understand the needs of
Have
wanting
you seen
to
me? I can
eat food.
barely. I can barely lift a person.
Kibella, aren't you a drow? I believe it's called.
Yes, I'm a drow, but that doesn't mean we're all incredibly strong.
Well, regardless of that, again, I feel somewhat in debt to Ahab as he didn't even understand the concept of a bed, and he helped me without even knowing me to safety.
Fair
so
enough.
I'm asking
Bed is
Ahab
nest.
for what
Nest
he means by
is
hunt.
flock. Nest is
So Ahab, in regards to a hunt, do you mean people that are on 2 legs or animals which are usually on 4 legs?
doesn't matter. As I crook my head.
It kind of does.
Well, Ahab,
You know what? You know what? I'm just gonna step in and say this, guys. No matter what we find today, as long as it's not on our side, I reckon you can eat it.
true. But after I hear you say
Oh, God,
that,
I'm hungry.
I'm going to tell Ahab that while I don't judge in regards to a hunt, me and I'm gonna name the other people in my group that are trying to keep a low profile. I'm
Mhm.
not
I-
against. I don't judge hunting humans, but I
Now, who
think
has
that
that
it
one spoon?
would
I need to make a
be
giant spoon.
better to hunt animals that are on four legs
Lorela,
that
you
are
are not going to
outside of.
help my character at all. This is great.
I
Well,
know.
I'm trying to help because I barely know you. I appreciate what you did for me, and I'm trying to learn more about you. So, to keep a low profile for me and the rest of the guys, mind you, I don't know what Ahab's going to do. I'm letting him know that I and the rest of the guys, Kevin, Kibella, T10 is trying to keep a low profile. So I'm letting him know that I think it would be in his best interest to either go on his own or take me to the outskirts of this place, and I can help him hunt creatures on four legs, so he could get a meal. And hell, I could get a meal. Fuck going to the fucking bar. I could just do that, kill a deer, get some meat.
I don't think you're gonna
Okay,
find a
Lorela, don't
deer
worry
down.
about it. We're
I don't
Oh,
think you're
it'll
gonna
be
find a
fine.
deer down here. If you do, I'll be surprised.
All right, Nick, fine. I'm trying to help you and pay back your kindness, even though you didn't even realize you were being kind. Fine then.
Look, he's just gonna
So
look.
I'm gonna
We're
tell
just gonna let
Ahab
him
what I
eat
just
what
said
he
to you
wants to.
guys, and whatever Ahab decides to say is whatever Ahab tries to say.
You know what? We just let him eat whatever he wants to eat, and as long as it's not us, we're good. I'm currently having to keep my voice very low because I'm in a mall full of children.
Question, Galadin, as I know you usually. What is your character's name in this campaign? The other Alex?
Alex. Just Alex.
Alright, so I'm gonna refer to him as Kibella, and then I'm gonna hear what the other Alex says, and I'm gonna give him a kind thumbs up and a handshake that despite trying to help the new member, which is Ahab, I'm gonna agree that as long as it's not us, and as long as it doesn't fuck up what we're trying to do, I can respect it. I just wanted to help
I'm sorry,
teach him because he clearly does not know certain things that I've been accustomed to. So I just was trying to help him. Whether or not he takes the advice, I don't care. I just wanted to help him because I felt a sense of kindness.
Fair enough, but at the same time, something tells me I think he's outlived us all.
True, Alex. It's just that even though I think he's a fairy or fae in regards to his origin, I was taught that there's evil fairies and fae and good ones, and something tells me that he's either neutral or good. So I was just showing him a level
floating
of
behind
respect.
you guys.
You
Yeah, I was just
know.
showing him a level of respect that normal
Okay.
people might not do because
Uh,
of the racism in this country.
I
I'm
believe
just
I
going
believe
to
Kevin
fuck
told
this up.
us that if there was no proper housing, that we could get out of our contracts, right?
Well, we signed
Okay,
the
I'm
contracts
just-
at the desk with those mannequins, which, by the way, Gianni, fuck you, because even though it's D&D, I have a legit anxiety towards anything mannequin related. But so as far as I remember from last session, we signed the contracts with these front desk people that were mannequins. Then they creepily pointed to where we had to go, and then we went to the bar to hang out, and then went to our respective places that were part of our assignment. Did my application to be either security or a guard, and I don't know what the rest of the guys did. So I'm most likely a guard or security. I don't know until the DM says otherwise.
Look, yesterday I met some people and showed them my knowledge and mapping ability, and they
Yes,
said
we were
that
there.
Yes.
I should join them. I'm explaining it to Lorelai, not everyone who's there.
I'm gonna look at T10 and be like, people. I didn't see any people, quote unquote, until we got to the bar.
That's
Oh,
what
yeah,
you're
Exactly.
talking about.
It was
I'm
that.
gonna look at him with sweat drops and be like, when we were all filling out our applications, I legit had issues with the fact that we signed an application with people that aren't technically people.
Those were just constructs.
Yeah, well, to be fair, I'm used to conducting business with sentient beings that have a pulse and aren't made from organic or artificial material outside of T10. So when I was signing the contract, I felt a creepiness
well,
and paranoia.
I'm not a con.
Well, as far as I know, T10's a robot. But I'm saying that when I was signing the contract with those mannequin
You had
creatures,
a robotic leg.
I
You had-
felt terrified.
That's it.
Both incorrect. Well, either way.
So T10, what exactly are you? Because you seem mechanical or robotic in nature. I want to address you properly. So what would you say
A
is
prosthetic.
who you are?
The dude underneath all that.
And amnesia.
Just a. I'm no.
It's a guy underneath all that, trust me.
Well, I do know from our previous experiences that you have mechanical properties in nature. Would you consider yourself, I believe it's called a cyborg or android, which means that you have mechanical and human
would that
properties?
terminology even exist in this world?
I don't know. Listen, one of our teammates is literally part robotic with mechanics. I'm asking T10
Unless you think it,
because I
guys,
don't know.
guys. Unless you think about it, the better. Trust me, I've bent my
Well,
head over
I'm
backwards.
sorry, you have a
Honestly,
point,
that's true.
but my character is
Yes,
going to ask
a
because
change
that's how I
in-
feel.
A change in topic would be wonderful.
Well, I asked what I asked. I would like an answer from T10.
Can we
so I
just
know
go?
how to-
I'm hungry.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yes, let's
but
go. I'm
I'm in
walking
character,
away.
and
Yeah,
I
I
would like
start-
an actual
I'm
answer.
heading up for the fucking
no, you
tavern.
guys
Let's
can
head
head
towards
off.
the
I already
adventurers.
got some fucking.
Yeah, no, you
grub.
guys can head off, but what I asked T10, I would like an answer, no offense, so that I know
He's
how to address you.
explicitly not answering.
I'm going to sigh
Already
in confusion and just smile and walk off. The
Can I
only
look
reason
at
why I
your
asked
confusion?
is because I wanted to respect
I'm
T10
here
as a
for the
creature.
grub.
That's the thing, though, Lorelai. You're thinking of it very one-sidedly and not in the perspective of what as characters need as the situation goes on.
Well, yeah.
Me as a
to be
character
fair,
should not see it like this.
I mean, yeah.
And
But-
for T10, he doesn't want to talk about it.
Maybe later he might change his mind, but it's like based on my character's origin, it wasn't until T10 or those mannequins that I saw sentient beings like that in my background as much as I've traveled. So seeing mannequins without a face actually communicate with me and being a friend slash teammate with T10, it stirred up a bit of some curiosity within my brain because even though I respect T10 as a teammate, after those mannequin experiences the last night, yesterday, I was legit curious on what exactly T10 is because as far as I know, he just appears to be mechanical, but he's also sentient. So it wasn't until now, in 42 years of traveling or whatever, existing, that I've experienced this. So I honestly say that it would be realistic that I would be slightly confused that teamed up with T10, became friends, teammates, cool, and then met with a bunch of
The confusion.
mannequin-based secretaries.
The
That
confusion makes perfect sense.
Yeah,
T10's
so-
not answering.
yeah, I would say in character, whenever T10 feels comfortable, cool. If not, the only reason why I asked is because A, curiosity, and B, to be respectful towards T10 because we've literally fought together. We've literally been side to side in combat. So my father and my mother taught me to be respectful of the people that I battle with. Which is why, despite the fact Kevin is an asshole and an idiot, I have respect for him because he's looked after me when he really didn't have to, despite his job.
This is all I'm gonna say real quick on the last bit of anything else. You're gonna be turning too many blind eyes.
Yep.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Fair enough. It's
Now
just
let's
that
continue
most
onward.
of us are so different. We got a drow bard, we have a mechanical-based creature, we have
The
you,
idea-
which is a fae or
okay.
fairy, and we have
So
me, which
no,
is a
the
tiefling.
issue is you're thinking of it that everyone's gonna stay the same. It's about growing together. Let's continue now.
True. The only reason why I even brought it up in character is the fact that, again, like I said, until now, I haven't had a face-to-face good experience with you, which is considered a fae or a fairy, even though I know that they can be good, and I haven't had a positive experience with a mechanical-based sentient being outside of those mannequins and what you call it, T10. So I'm gonna be quiet. Let's continue with the show.
So I was hoping we would all travel to map this place out
I
as a
believe we're
unit.
almost there, actually. I think I just seen
I'm
him
not-
over the ridge.
Sure, it will be the safest of journeys.
DM, are we actually getting close?
Assuming we're making our way to the Adventurers Guild?
Yeah.
Reaching the edge of town is not hard. It's a fairly small town. If you ask one of the guards that are sort of patrolling the perimeter, they will point you in the direction of the campsite, and they will give you the fair warning that it is about an hour away from town.
I'm not gonna move on.
Alright.
So, for the most part, the trip is pretty safe-wise. The deep beasts don't always come into town as long as people are keeping quiet and everything. But you guys, after spending an hour of walking out, can arrive at the campsite. Looking around, you can see that this camp is made up mostly of just dozens of empty or even ruined and destroyed tents. The only real signs of life here is in the middle of this sort of conglomeration of tents is a fairly large campfire where you see the scarred up Goliath that you guys met the other night, as well as the heavily injured young elf, currently sat over what looks to be a pot of stew.
Question is, should I do? Oh no, nah. That.
I just whisper towards Grog. How safe is it to talk here?
As I assume you approach.
You whisper. I said whisper. Stage whispering. All right.
Oh, we should be mostly all right. Speaking of normal volume, anyhow. Look over there,
Right.
as he points to torches that are sort of set up around the campsite.
Yep.
The torches have a magical blue flame lit on them. That right there is Everfire. Fire that just keeps burning no matter what. The deep beasts don't like fire, and they like endless fire even less. So, they mostly stay away from the camp.
Mostly?
There's bound to be a brave soul here and there.
Oh, of course.
You have to pray.
Starve empty bellies
Pray.
will crave desperation.
Well, if the creature is starving enough, they'll attack regardless if there's a deterrent or not.
Exactly. But-
And I've seen my fair share of bear attacks. Well, not towards me, towards some other.
Don't
random-
worry.
Oh, believe you me, bears. You will wish for bears.
What about dragons?
Oh.
You do.
What about land sharks?
I'm sorry,
Where
Kevin.
the fuck
What?
did land sharks come from?
Land
I
sharks.
know where they came from.
They
Anyway.
feel vibrations. And they swim through the ground as it's water.
Evan, stop talking about bullets.
Kevin, what are you even talking about?
You know, bullets.
I don't know if
Anyway.
you're serious.
Letting
That
go
is
of
disturbing.
setting that conversation aside.
It's like, I've heard some things. They may or may not be real. I don't know.
Grog will suddenly stand up as he goes, "Oh, Where are my manners? Here. As he takes a bowl and dips it into the pot of boiling stew, and hands you guys one of the bowls.
Oh,
Are you
thanks.
hungry? Please have a bowl.
Oh, thanks.
Hey. He is, I
Oh.
point to the elf.
Oh, wait, you hunted it earlier?
Yes, we usually hunt ahead of time here.
Oh, and I go immediately for the bowl.
Okay.
Oh, there's plenty for everyone. I'm far too used to cooking for the whole guild, so I have a bad habit of overcooking. So please, anyone.
Yeah, I'll take a bowl.
I'm gonna ritual cast this.
What are we ritual casting?
Detect poison and disease. On the
I'm
food.
just gonna take a big good bite right there and then.
Just like, yeah, let's see if this is edible.
As you spend 10 minutes trying to see if it's edible, everyone else is eating.
Yeah.
Also, I will
Oh,
mention
eat it.
there have been like
We're in a place with
twice.
food, right, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to ring my whistle for my familiar cat to see that because previously he helped me realize that the food we had was dangerous. I'm gonna do the same thing to see if this food is safe.
Yeah.
By the time
my
both of
character's
these
waiting.
two are done with their things, I've just
Looks you in the
eaten
eyes like,
all.
Just wait for the DM to respond. I'm just doing this because last time my familiar saved my life. Alex legit saved my life from getting poisoned or food poisoning.
Yeah, my character. My character doesn't trust people that very well because he has been poisoned before.
And I'm gonna disappear. See you.
I'm just straight up using detect poison disease.
So.
I'll grab a bowl, but I'm not going to eat it just yet. I'm waiting for the results.
I'm not going
Alright, so
just yet. Okay. Okay.
everyone's grabbing a bowl. I will say, as soon as Grog is done passing out bowls, he will immediately take a bowl of his own and just down it. It does appear to be a mushroom stew. Lorelei, summoning your little cat familiar, he will take a sniff of the bowl, sort of crook his head, and he'll end up like shaking it back and forth, like no.
Like it's fine.
All right. Well, based on what you just said, DM, because last time he was looking out for me. By the way, it's a spiritual creature. Familiars don't actually have to eat physical food or any type of food, right?
No, he's a ghost cat.
All right. I didn't want to starve Alex. You know what I mean? Since
Oh,
you
yeah, he
made
will
him
still-
for me. So.
Oh, he'll still steal your food, but he doesn't need to eat it.
So he looked at me and pretty much said, no, I'm going to look at my familiar cat and realize that he's trying to protect me, and I'm not going to eat any of the food.
So who has eaten the food?
I haven't yet because I was waiting for results.
You said it wasn't meat, so I immediately start spitting it out. Ew, this is
Wait
disgusting.
10 minutes.
Alright.
For my spell to finish ritual casting.
Well, after 10 minutes, you can detect the mushrooms in this stew are a type of poison. Not a deadly poison, but not a good thing either.
Like,
It's like, I grew up in the forest. I'm glad I used my familiar.
yeah, I'm just gonna just move the mushrooms out of the way. It's like, yeah,
I'm just gonna.
I'm not here to get a high.
As Grog sort of wipes the stew from his face. Oh, not a fan of mushrooms. Apologies. Here, I'll enjoy yours then. No sense in letting it go to waste. As
Not
he
a
begins
fan of being
collecting.
poisoned, really.
Yeah, I'll just
Yeah, we
get
already
I'll
went through
just
that.
use my spoon and just give him, just like plop my mushrooms into his bowl.
Poison? Oh, yes, the mushrooms down here, almost everything has some form of poison. These ones, they tear on your chest. It prepares you for dangerous adventures ahead, helps clear the mind, as he chugs his third bowl of the soup.
I'm an elf. I don't get hair on my chest.
Wait, I need to.
Hold
I
on.
need
I
to
do
familiarize
care
myself.
I don't
Kevin,
believe I'm immune.
what's your
to...
race? You said you're an elf.
Yeah, I'm a
Half
half elf.
Elf.
So you're an elf in terms of your race, and your class is druid. Okay.
I'm a half elf, yeah.
Yeah, no, I always
Um,
thought of you as like orc looking. Sorry.
Even after everyone mentions it's poison, D10 still just absent-mindedly eating it
I mean, to
without
be
paying
He's
fair, if
not
attention.
anyone
paying
could probably eat it
attention.
without a problem,
He is
T10 would
Reading
probably
off,
be able to eat
off
it.
to the side.
Food poisoning.
T10
Awesome.
would probably be the only one who could eat it without a problem. To be fair,
T10, give me a Constitution saving throw.
maybe I spoke too soon.
He's still in the stomach.
It's not a robot.
Darn, you're gonna make me join the full one.
Yeah, it says you're already in here.
Oh no, I'm on. I leveled up earlier, so I'm still on.
Okay.
Well, I actually don't know what he is.
Oh, wow.
All I know
Alright,
is that he's
perfect.
mechanical.
Yep, that stew goes down smooth.
Dude,
you
did you
don't
get a
even.
crit? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he did.
God damn.
Um,
There goes your RNG for the rest of the night.
You don't even get a buzz.
So as Grog is enjoying as much of the mushroom stew as possible, the
I'll pull out a
injured
ration
elf
since it's a
kind
little
of
bit safer.
the injured elf comes over to the group and sort of whispers to you guys. The poison makes you too dumb to be afraid.
Well, Kevin's already too dumb to be afraid of anything, so I think we're good in that department.
It's like It's like I'm constantly terrified. Thank you. This isn't gonna do anything, but make me worse.
But Grog looks over the group. All right then. Well, at the very least my stomach is full. Now,
I'm eating on a ration currently, so I'm getting full.
well, if you boys would like to follow me, I would like to show you our maps.
Mhm.
And regardless of if anyone follows him, he does start walking away
I'll
and
follow.
starts heading to a larger sort of war tent. Its flaps are open wide, and you can see the torches lighting up that little area.
Is there
Question,
no one else
DM.
other than these two?
The creature
Nope.
that's leading us to these areas, what is he? Is he a giant? What is he? So I know the reference.
He's a Goliath.
Goliath,
Yeah, 'cause I heard
Goliaths
Goliath,
are-
I just wanted to know.
they're giant kin. They're
So
they're
related
tiny.
to giants.
Yeah, they're tiny giants because he's like 6 feet or 7 feet tall.
Gotcha. So we have a giant related kin leading us to. Got it. No problem. Just wanted to know for reference. I don't want to make a mistake.
Oh, you're fine.
That's 7
But
feet.
yes, in spite of there being dozens and dozens of tents here, it's just these two guys here.
Right. I'm assuming you guys used to have a really big team before the incidents.
Oh yes, if I recall, hmm, Vex, what was the original party set at? As the elf pipes in. The first guild started at 30 members. The second generation was about 15. Our group was 12 before we came back.
May I? Hold on. Are there any graves nearby?
Grog kind of, you notice when he arrives at the map, there's this large wooden table in the middle of the tent.
Mhm.
You notice he goes to lean down over it, but very clearly slams down on it harder than you'd expect as the elf pipes in. Oh crap, I had a brain fart. What did you just say, Kibella?
I didn't say anything. I was about to say I was about to say something.
No.
No, he said what he said.
I asked if there was any fresh dug graves or anything.
That's right. That's what it was. I'm very low sleep right now. My brain's not perfectly. Um, so the injured elf that you now assume his name is Vex goes, it's hard to prepare graves when we couldn't collect the bodies.
Ooh. Well, hmm. Question. Could I try to, if they're familiar with it, can I ask them for any personal objects and see if I can talk to the, like, channel their spirits through me to see if they can talk?
You technically could, but Vex will kind of whisper to Yukibella. Grog is still a little sore about the last expedition. Let's keep talk of them to the minimum.
Right. Okay. Well, I don't say that out loud. I was just talking out of character.
Right. So,
Um. Hmm. Well, I wish I could help, and if I was able to bring back the people that died, I would. If I had the
um,
power.
Grog seemingly ignores you as he goes, you, fellow, with the strange appearance, as he points to T10. Come in. I believe you were the one with the map.
T10.
Yes, I'll certainly take a look, and I'll head over to the table.
All right. Across the table, there is a very rough sketch of a section of the caves that is very similar to the near perfect map that you've made.
I'll start fixing it with any writing utensil nearby.
Oh, yes, excellent. Having a backup copy would be very valuable. This map here was made by the founder of our guild. Oh, how about it? Not right now. Sweating, but anyway, this map here was designed by our founder. He had originally established the guild. Is Discord malfunctioning or?
No, we're just listening.
Okay, good, good, good. Oh, that's what happened, Jockey. I didn't hear the music, and I was like, wait, what happened? All right. The original founder of the guild believed in an old legend that buried somewhere deep within the southern mountains, there was some sort of ancient artifact or city that held the power to kill gods. Now, in my opinion, it sounds like a bunch of hogwash. I think if a weapon like that existed, it wouldn't be buried under the earth. But
Well,
it was his life's work to hunt down this location, and if nothing else,
to be
finding it would be a good discovery. If nothing else, it will give our guild some well-deserved recognition.
well, if nothing, well, if there was something like that, I would
Sorry.
definitely put it in somewhere dark, dangerous, and very hard to find. So that might not be too far off.
My ears are gonna perk up to this character saying what he's saying, and it causes my hat to come off. I'm gonna politely ask him to repeat the first sentence of what he said, as I wanted to just make sure that what he said is what I thought.
Uh, about the 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 artifact capable of killing gods?
Yes. Yes, sir. Please, if you do not mind, repeat what you just said. I just wanted to confirm that what you said was what I thought.
Yes, supposedly buried in the southern mountains, there is a artifact of some sort that could give the power to kill gods. Unfortunately, that's all the legend truly tells. There isn't much information about it. To be honest, I'm not even sure where it's sourced from. It's just the story our founder used to tell.
Right.
I'm going to write down what he said in my notebook and just politely say thank you. And I also have heard of stories in different areas of artifacts that, in theory, could kill deities.
I don't think. I
Well,
don't. I think that. Would my character know of any story like this or no?
you can roll history or religion.
I'll roll history since that's the
Yeah,
better
go
of my.
ahead. The only reason why I claimed that I knew something was because of my childhood.
Yeah. Let's see. 15. What do I get?
Um, you don't know anything particularly, like any specific story, but I mean it's a common trope for there to be, powerful weapons that save the day.
Yeah, I'm
There's
sorry,
usually
but
some
I'm a
truth
little
to
bit
them in
more
one way or the
skeptic
other.
when it comes to stories like that. Most of the time, it's just a shiny little rock that some goblin found in a cave.
Oh, absolutely. And in my opinion, I don't think there's anything that powerful down there. But one thing I do know for sure, there are the remnants of the ancient cities that are down there. And if we can find a safe path to those places, that grants our guild some notoriety with scholars and big brain types. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm well aware what a scholar is and whatnot. It would definitely be worth studying in terms of like research, scholars, etc.
it's now the struggle being finding the safest passage there.
Well,
And
what paths
thanks to
have?
your help,
Sorry, what paths have you found so far?
well, as of now, the only path we had was this large one charted out here, and even then, we had unfortunately lost the map that connects where we are to this place. But
Okay.
thanks to your friend's more completed map, I might just be able to connect most of our charts to this one. And with further expeditions, we can go even further.
Sounds like a plan.
Now, if I have read everything correctly, our maps can chart out to this location, but bare minimum, it is going to cost, it's going to take at least a day or two of traveling to get there. And then once we arrive, obviously, a couple days back, as well as any other further exploring around, what I'd prefer to find is more of a direct access to the surface,
Hmm.
which I believe charted out right there. But we just need to confirm this one.
Uh, DM, would my character know at all any potential sub routes to help our tour guide or no?
Absolutely not.
All right.
This place,
Is the tour guide requesting any monetary funds for helping us?
oh no. In fact, he is effectively he is offering to hire you guys on to help with the expedition.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
then the only thing that I would ask him when you would allow it would be, since he's a giant-based creature, since I was raised by my uncle Smithy, which was a giant, I would ask him if he knew of a giant blacksmith named Smithy, just to see if maybe potentially he knows about him.
A giant? I'm afraid the only giants I've ever met were trolls and hill giants, and quite frankly, don't have enough sense about them to tell me their name. Sorry to say, most of the intelligent giants, they've been extinct for a very long time.
Yeah.
Okay, fair
What
enough.
kind of chicanery are you talking about?
So I would ask our tour guide his name and thank him for the fact that he amused my question.
Oh, apologies, as he reaches down and grabs your hand and start violently shaking it. Name's Grog. I'm the current leader of the Adventurers Guild here. Me and Vex.
It's a pleasure to be doing business with you. Only reason why I asked you these questions was that my uncle, that was not by birthright, but uncle that helped raise me, was a giant that was also a blacksmith named Smithy. Seeing as I respect and appreciate your stature, I just thought to ask. But I appreciate you helping us, and anything you have to do to help us and the rest of my friends, you have my utmost thanks.
Um.
Well,
Yeah, I'm not really sure how to approach that on that one.
well, then, did you
Oh,
boys had any other further questions before we prepare to set off?
one other thing. Um, if we do go down there, if you choose to stay here, it's completely up to you. I can send a message to you. As long as I'm familiar with whoever I'm sending it to.
Well, as of right now, it's just going to be me and Vex traveling with you, gentlemen, so there isn't anyone in particular here on the surface we'd need to send a message, or, well,
No, I meant if you guys
here in the
wanted to
town.
stay here, you could. We'll go down there by ourselves, and we can send you messages.
Nonsense! I couldn't possibly send you boys down there all alone.
I know, just was
That'd be a
throwing the
death
option out there.
sentence. No, no. Every member of the guild goes on the expeditions.
I feel like that's a bad business practice, but whatever. What would I know?
Oh, believe you me, once you meet your first beast, you'll understand why.
This is gonna be fun. Should we take a few of these torches just to be on the safe side?
Ah, me and Vex will have our standard torches, but we keep the Everfire here, mostly because the wizard that cast the spell died quite some time ago, so we don't know how to make more.
Oh,
Ah.
that's unfortunate.
But we will be bringing standard torches with us to help guide the way, as well as hopefully keep some of the smaller beasts at bay.
Right.
I will let our tour guide know that anyone who doesn't have a torch already, that I
Do
have
you
dark
have the
vision.
wizard's book?
Sadly, no, it was on his person when he passed.
And his body's still down
Do you
there.
know where he did pass?
Hmm. 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 Maybe.
Well, if
I'd have to be
we
down there for sure, though.
well, if we're going down there, we might as well try to see if we can retrieve the bodies to give them a proper funeral.
Grog kind of grimaces as he goes, I'm going to gather the equipment, as he sort of stomps off to some of the other tents, and Vex
Uh,
chimes in. There's a reason the bodies weren't collected.
oh,
They're
they,
gone.
oh,
I I also strongly
I
suggest
made,
we stop
I made an
mentioning the
assumption.
death.
My bad. I didn't know. How could I have known?
we should really just stop mentioning it altogether. It's really kind of uncouth of us.
Yeah, I should probably stop
I'll
talking
get a
about that.
pickaxe. You want one, buddy?
I
But
don't.
the spell is quite good. It is what they're referring to be meaning.
Well, if we're lucky, the book was made out of non-edible material. If we stumble across the area that fight occurred, it might still be there.
Mhm.
I mean, I
Odds are
know
slim.
locate object. Will that help?
Actually, that
Not-
would help.
Not without you having seen the object, no.
That is
I think
fair.
if you just do you have a picture or a very
You can
vivid
just describe.
description?
No, you can just describe a book, and you can look for any book within that radius.
In theory, if you guys get close to the book, then you can find it, but
Yeah, it's still like a day journey, air quote.
Yeah, it's wherever the battlefield happened, you locate a book, and then that's where we find it. That's how it goes.
Yeah,
Let's continue on.
yeah.
it's in 1,000 feet of you.
Electronic spell can locate the nearest object of a particular kind, such as a certain kind of jewelry, apparel, furniture, tool, or weapon. The spell can't locate an object if any thickness of lead, even if thick shin blocks. Wow, that's really specific.
Yeah,
That's a pretty dope fucking
What is
ability,
this?
though.
A Superman reference?
yeah.
You would
Yes,
think, right?
but the worst part is you can just say you want to look for a lead box, and you can find a lead box.
I thought
Yeah.
I was just
So
gonna
it's
make
only
fancy
as
ramen when I
useful
was
as
done.
specific you are. Damn.
Yeah.
Just have like a
I want to
deep
see this
layer
wall that's
I
a
mean,
mile
lead
long.
and jewelry boxes and shit
unless this
now.
entire cave system is lined with lead.
I don't think lead affects spells, but okay.
Well, in this case, it does affect a locate object.
God.
Vex will sort of get the group's attention. I feel I should warn you. Grog is very excited to go on another expedition, but in all honesty, you shouldn't have agreed to come.
We're not exactly the brightest bunch.
Well, allow me to be the intelligent one amongst you. The Adventurers Guild is nothing more than a suicide squad, since the very day it was founded.
Suicide is
Oh.
effectively our middle name, considering how many people we pissed off.
It's interesting you say that, Grod. I've
I
heard
mean,
the term
it's
before.
not Grodd. This is the elf.
This is Vex.
This is Vex.
Sorry. So we're being led by Grod and Vex.
Yes.
So then I would respond to Vex saying that in my experience, I've heard the term Suicide Squad before. I just didn't know what it meant.
Well, nevertheless, if you're insistent on adventure, I certainly can't make you go away. But if you left now, no one would call you a coward.
Fair enough, Vex. What would you say would be the survival rate between 1 and 100%?
I would tell you it goes down lower and lower with every expedition. Like I said, the guild started 30 men strong. But every time we've gone down, the deeper we go, worse things come out. Bigger things come out. And it doesn't help that everything down there doesn't die without fire.
Wait a minute. Vex, are the things within this area undead or hollow in nature, would you say?
I can't really tell you if they're hollows. The only hollows I've ever met are people. But I can tell you that everything has a bad habit of coming back if you don't torch it to death.
Yeah, that's a hollow. That's a hollow if it loses itself.
All right, I'm going to walk ahead of everyone else in the group because I'm curious. And
You guys haven't gone out yet. You're still just in the tent.
Yeah, we're
The
still.
only person that left was Grog, who went to gather the equipment.
Okay, I guess I will leave the tent to go to Grodd then.
Okay.
I'm
Oh.
excited.
Oh boy, we're definitely going to need a lot of stuff to protect our asses, aren't we?
It's fine. Death is a temporary thing. So, did you guys have any further questions before we set off?
Nope, not really.
All right. Rog gets stuff together, hands out a few like bundles of prepared torches, just in case you guys need them for any reason.
Right, I guess I'll add a torch to my inventory.
For the sake of convenience, Grog has a giant pack full of various rations and whatnot, so everyone will stay fed for the journey. Just before you leave, Grog does look over the group as he goes, "All right. Now, there is one last bit of, one last question I have for you, men.
Sorry, go for it.
The initial intent of this expedition is to confirm that the map is correct in its locations, and to confirm that there is a safe path up to the surface from where this map is charted out. However, if my predecessor is to be believed, if we can find a path further down into the tunnels that could possibly lead to this artifact of sorts. Are you boys looking for the safe and well-funded and well-prepared path? Or would you rather go on adventure?
I speak for myself and say that I would love an adventure, but I also respect and will follow the majority vote of my team.
Which way is the book?
Probably farther down.
That would be my best guess. Unfortunately, I wasn't in the expedition where we lost our wizard.
So sad.
So we have one for adventure.
I'm down for adventure. I guess I would like the safer option, but I'm traveling with these assholes, and pretty much even with the safest option, it's an adventure.
I'm going to vote for adventure, but if the majority winds up picking safe, I will agree with them. I don't want to be an asshole.
I particularly like the book, so if that is the direction.
Kevin, T10?
Whichever
What?
creates a more extensive map.
What? I create a map?
Whichever makes a more detailed map, because they're trying to find a safer passage to the Lost City, correct?
Well, to
I
this
have the
possible
ability
lost
to just
artifact.
create a
That too.
map.
Oh, no, I have the cartography supplies with me. I'll be the one forging the map.
With probably some help from T10.
Oh, of course, yes. He is a master of art.
You turn around
the
and I'm
art.
digging through the supplies looking for the cartography tools.
Hey, T10, get out of those! Those are not yours!
So am I just transmitting
Listen, I'm
the
just surprised that
memory into
T10
your
is not
brain?
being OCD with
Just
grinding coins.
Do you have a map?
Do I have a map? Shit, I don't remember.
Oh, I don't think you do. T10's the only one that had any maps.
Yeah.
I think
I
I
can
have
just
a.
transmit a memory. Hold on, just.
I think I have a map of my hometown, but that's about it.
That's not what he's asking. He's asking if you guys want to go on an adventure.
Uh,
Yes.
my.
All right.
Oh
Is
boy.
Excellent. Then
Lorelai
we're all.
coming or Belle? Or anyone
Everyone's
else?
coming.
Cool.
Literally
Everyone's coming. I'm gonna.
As-
We're gonna regret this, aren't we?
Nonsense. It will be glorious.
We are.
Onwards. As he begins stomping off into a very dark, deep tunnel.
As
This
he
is
gets
human,
out of
right?
the earshot, I whisper, "We are all gonna die."
Alex, you're human, right? You can't see in the dark.
Kibella's gonna say that. I'm gonna offer him a drink of my wine to calm his nerves.
I need to be on my toes, but thank you for the offer.
The the only one that cannot see in the dark, I believe, is T10 now, right?
Yeah, T10's the only one that doesn't have dark vision, but both Grog and Vex are currently leading the charge, holding torches in
Yeah,
hand,
I'll
and
follow along.
everyone has at
Yeah.
least a torch to light if they need it.
Or night vision, or dark
With-
vision.
Yeah, some of us just most of us just straight up have night vision.
So whomever in the group does not have night vision, I'm going to
No.
gesture for them to hold my hand so I can guide them
Oh.
through.
Don't worry about it. Alex can grant 120 feet of dark vision to anybody.
That's true.
I mean,
Yeah.
but isn't Cabela doesn't have dark vision?
No, I have dark vision. I'm a half
okay,
drow,
never
remember?
mind.
Yeah, the
Does
only
A
person is
have
Alex
dark
T10.
vision?
has dark vision.
Okay, so I will offer assistance for T10 if he wants it.
I think T10 will be all right because he has his bodyguard to give him give him dark vision. But nevertheless, the expedition begins. So, as you guys are wandering deeper and deeper into these tunnels, they start to almost expand out the further down you go. There are tunnels that will just all of a sudden show up that go straight up from where you are. There's occasional tunnels that you have to kind of skirt around as they just go straight down, left, right, center. There's every once in a while, just smaller, larger tunnels just open up. But for the most part, Grog and Vex just continue you guys down your path.
We'll follow as best we can.
But eventually, Grog kind of chimes in as he's looking around. Yes, I believe this is one of the safer areas. So, since we are all glorious men in probably walking towards our end,
Or our
let's get to
ultimate.
know each other a little more.
Well, what was the fake name I gave again?
You wouldn't
Joseph.
know.
Was it Requiem of
I believe I
Bullshit?
used Joseph Cabal or something like that.
I mean, either way, no one has really given their name to Grog, so you tell him
True.
any name, he's just going to assume it's true.
Oh, whoops!
Oh.
If that's the
You
case,
tell him the name
DM,
is Huggy
then
Wuggy.
I'll
You know what? I'm
With
gonna.
all
My
the
character's
love
gonna be
he says.
honest.
of Lorelai. I'll gladly give him. I
Well,
thought I did.
I'm gonna
Sorry.
be honest with you. I lied to the guys upstairs.
Oh, that's no trouble. For the most part, the people upstairs don't really give a damn about that sort of thing. As long as you've come down and you do your work,
Right.
that's all they really care about.
Anyways, name's is Alex Cambella.
Uh,
I'm a minstrel by trade.
uh, Funny enough, back on the surface, I was nothing more than a mere hunter, hunting game every day.
I
With
can
a good
see that.
life.
You give off the hunter vibe. Much like Lorelei here.
I'm gonna tell Grodd that my first name is Lorelei out of respect, and my last name is Aravel. And I
Well,
will
good to me.
use Lada as a business name.
Well, good to formally meet you, Mr. Abel. Me personally, just grog. Does me well enough. But telling everyone your name doesn't give much. I've got a question for you, lads. As he raises up his left hand and he shows the hollow brand on it. What's your
Yeah.
boys' story, huh? How did you get branded?
Well, funny story, actually. You see, I pissed off a noble in one town, and he happened to have a lot of money, and basically told the Black Guard to basically brand me, etc. I didn't even go KO or anything. I was just going about my business. All because his daughter had a crush. Not even joking about that.
It's a horrible experience, Kibella.
And I really wish I knew which noble it was so that I could strangle him. Sorry.
So
I
what
don't know
you're
where that
saying
one
is
came
that you were
from.
framed? Kibella, so you're saying you were framed and you're not even sure if you're a hollow?
Oh, absolutely.
Same
What
as me.
would a high enough medicine check be able to diagnose if one's hollow?
Absolutely not.
Damn,
The
I'm trying to
greatest
figure out how
mind.
to use that skill check. I have a +6
Uh,
in it, and I'm realizing I can't do shit with it.
I'll
you
just
can do
tell
plenty of
Grodd.
things.
I'll just tell
That's what I'm
Grodd.
trying to figure out what you can do.
Fair enough. I would have honestly, Kevin. I would have assumed the same thing because of the mark. Whenever I have the chance, I'll tell Grodd that I was framed along with Kevin, my companion. And as far as the hollow curse, the only person I could say that was legit a hollow was my father. I don't even know if I am myself a hollow.
How the fuck you
Yes.
diagnose that shit?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's the fun part, isn't it? The Black Guard are the ones that get to decide who's hollow and who's not.
And they ain't even correct half the time, mostly, probably.
I don't think anyone really gives a damn. They'd rather feel safe and secure, knowing that there's someone taking care of us.
I'd rather be
Yeah,
ignorant.
we're actually trying to help a fellow figure a way how to not only detect it, but try to cure it as well.
Really?
Whether or not that is actually successful or not, I really can't say.
How exactly do you plan to do that all the way down here?
Side mission.
Side mission.
Well, if you say so.
Also, who knows? Maybe we'll find something down here.
Oh, that's absolutely the plan. If we're lucky. If we're especially lucky, then something certainly won't find us.
Yeah, not looking forward to that.
And almost on cue, you guys arrive at sort of a fork in the road. The tunnel leads off in 4 different directions. All of them you can fairly easily gain access to. Grog and Vex kind of stop looking around for a brief moment. But before you guys can discuss which path you will take, you suddenly hear this loud, disgusting slapping sound, like flesh just banging against stone, coming from one of these tunnels.
Can we roll perception checks to tell which way it's coming from?
Absolutely. Everyone can go ahead and roll perception.
Can I
14.
use guidance? I have not rolled yet.
Okay.
Said perception, right, DM?
Yeah.
Yep.
I have no idea whether or not that's a good or
Wow.
a bad roll. We'll figure it out.
It's a 12 for you.
Well,
Like number wise, 12 seems fine, but I don't know.
wow.
I only
For
have a
once,
plus
T10
one.
was paying attention.
I
That's
don't
that
know.
one.
I mean, I'm mostly looking at the tunnels, trying to figure out where we are and write it down, and then I
Mhm.
just
Same shit.
key in on something.
All right. So, as everyone is looking around, funny enough, Kevin and Lorelai are just completely oblivious to which tunnel is coming. This is coming from. There's just about everyone else kind of cues in on one tunnel, and T10, you look up and notice very specific detail. Down one of these tunnels, it sort of immediately curves around this bend, and peeking out from behind a corner appears to be a large, almost glowing eye.
Oh no.
Oh,
And
shit.
as soon as you see the eye, you immediately can tell the eye sees you.
Oh boy.
Oh, shit.
All of a
D10's the
sudden,
only one that can see it. All right.
all of a sudden, an amalgamation of flesh, vaguely resembling that of a large muscular man, comes barreling down the tunnel, screaming in just.
Yep, that's a hollow! That's a hollow
Its
if it
arms
loses too
and
much of
legs.
itself.
Infernal.
Oh, it's not speaking anything. It's just making noise
Oh
as
no.
its arms and legs pulsate and bulge in such awkward intervals that it quite literally is tripping over itself as it just rolls and runs and charges at the group in this disgusting fashion. But that one bright orange eye in the middle of what you assume is its head stays perfectly locked on to T10.
Oh no. I'm
Oh,
gonna
wait.
go behind T10.
Hollow. Are hollow? Wait, hollow are considered dead, so I could theoretically talk to it.
Well, I think the
So-
term is undead.
Yeah, fair.
Do we have a chance to react at all?
Well, we didn't get surprised, that's for
Well,
sure.
next week, we will roll initiative.
No!
All right.
Should we set
That
up
is
our
where we will
tokens?
end things.
No.
Who was
You
closest to
can
that
feel free to
tunnel?
set up your tokens.
Who was
Damn
closest
it, I
to
was
that
fully
tunnel?
into it.
Combat is never good to run towards the end of things.
Fair.
I thought we were gonna go to like 2 or 3 o'clock, to be honest.
Well, it's already 1, and I have work tomorrow, so I can't run too late.
Okay, so where
Okay,
we want?
everything
So
looks
who would
good.
be closest to the tunnel that creature came down now?
You
Oh, right. My
all
question was gonna...
you would all be about 30 feet away from the creature by the time that we have our initiative rolls.
So
5,
30
10,
feet.
15, 20, 25,
Okay.
30.
So
Biggest
somewhere
question I
along
have.
this line.
How
What is your
tall is
question,
this tunnel?
How tall? How fucking big
That's
is this
actually a
thing?
really good question.
Probably maybe I'd say just under 15 feet.
That still works.
The thing is that this amalgamation of flesh is almost filling that tunnel, so
Hmm.
Hmm. if there, if he was a little bit shorter, I could just shatter the roof above him and basically trap him underneath some rubble.
Well, the problem being that
Everyone's
it's,
really close.
you could technically do that. It's just then you're going to cave in the tunnel that you guys have to go down.
Yeah.
I mean, the idea was to kill him, then clear it out.
Hell, my only
Huh?
reaction is that if he hits me, to use Hellish Rebuke,
Mhm.
because I don't even clearly see it. T10's the only one that actually saw more.
Oh no, you definitely see it now. It's
Yeah, we see
huge.
it now.
You can't miss it.
Okay,
I'm
so
pretty
it's just
sure you're
body
not gonna
parts.
miss something that's about 15 feet tall. Looking one, it's wanting to eat your guts.
Frankenstein's monster.
But yeah,
Hey, Kevin, you have that spell prepared like I asked, right?
And growth?
Yeah,
Yeah.
cool.
wait, why are we plant growthing?
Don't worry about it.
I'm not entirely sure. All I know is that it's gonna be good.
Wait, you go grow a beanstalk in his stomach?
You do not know what
Not
plant
how
growth
that
does
works.
to you.
So we want to do some forced
Think
movement.
more
huh?
first Hokage.
Yeah,
Okay.
hard.
Anyways, I'm
Like,
gonna.
I'm not making something grow. I'm just that's already there. I'm just creating shit.
Anyways, I'm gonna hop on off. Night, guys.
Later.
All right, and with that, this session comes to a close. Will our party survive its first threat in the Underdark? Tune in this next time. And until then, I'll see y'all mates in the next one.